Welcome to Rope Dropping Knowledge, where we guide you through the magic of Disney.
$161. How are you doing?
Okay.
How you doing?
Okay, Joey.
Yeah, I've been on jury duty.
And you got selected, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Why do they trust me? I can't say anything about the actual trial, but man, I gotta say, I became a boomer real overnight, like just during jury selection, because all the whiny people that just, oh, I can't do it because of this. Or, I can't do it because of that. Because I know everyone says, hey, just lie to get out of it. Just lie to get out of it. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I don't think what people who've never done it before, I don't think you understand, like, the questions they ask isn't like on TV. I mean, they're really just trying to get you, you know, just a normal person on a trial. That's what they're trying to do. They're not asking you, you know, it's not like these TV shows where they're asking you these in-depth, super, you know, it's kind of like, are you an idiot or not? And you would have to say, yes, in fact, I am an idiot. Yeah. You know, it's like you really have to debase yourself to get out there. And there's plenty of people apparently willing to do that. It's kind of like, just like,
sad.
Yeah. So what they do is they give you like a card and you read, you know, it says your name, you know, and my name is blah, 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 you know, and I do this for a living and blah, blah, blah. And do you know, so like, if it's a criminal thing, it's like, well, do you know a police officer, you know, or anyone in law enforcement or, you know, and then the judge, so first it's the judge asking questions and then the attorneys can ask questions. And then I think they get like up to 6 each. So they can technically dismiss 12 people, but the judge can dismiss as many as he or she wants. And it's just like, man, dude, just especially these millennials. I was yelling at my millennial friends. I was like, you guys are just soft. Man. Everybody, like, I have a total empathy for people with anxiety and depression and things like that. But then it gets to be a statistical thing where if you have, because we had like, I think, you know, 54 people and 12 of you have severe anxiety, you can't do it. Out of 50, that statistically, that doesn't, you would have to, that's like, you guys should buy lottery tickets because it doesn't, because the math isn't adding up today. You know what I mean? It's like severe enough. I mean, everybody can be nervous. Right. Yeah. But like to say that I don't know. I can't speak. I can't do this. Yeah. I can't do this. And the thing about it is that there are some people who have legitimate stuff. Right. But then it's just like, and then it's like, well, you know, this is about a crime and there's some violence. And and vegans like, well, I can't stand any crime. I don't even eat meat. And then
what does that have to do with violence? Because
it's violence to animals.
Oh, please. You know, never mind.
You know, this is how I have to start every podcast, is getting Tracy riled up.
You already know how I feel about not eating meat. To add on top of it, using it as an excuse to get out of jury duty is just stupid.
It's so funny because out of all the quote unquote, I don't know what you would call them, Asian groups, American Asian groups,
I'm not part of any of them.
No, Vietnamese is supposed to be the ones who are the most conservative politically.
Yeah.
But Tracy has always thought of herself as liberal. but you can't.
No,
you
even
can't
that's
keep.
annoying. Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
you can't keep it. You can't keep it. She can't help it.
Either side is annoying.
And she's not. I mean, she's not like super conservative, but when it comes down to just like traditional boomer talk, she is all for that. Just like, shut up and stop complaining. Get off my lawn. You live in a condo. Get off everyone's lawn. So funny.
Which will later bring us to how Knott's Berry Farm might be a paradise for me.
I know, we're going to get into that. But yeah, I was just, because I should not, dude, I'll just say it. I know, I mean, not close, but I knew one of the attorneys and like, your IQ's over 70, you're on. We're keeping you. And I'm just like, what? That's a legitimate conflict of interest.
Should be like calling the judge by the first name, be like, hey, I know you too, Maryland, or whatever her name is. That's not her name, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I know the personally, but you would think out of every reason that's a legit reason.
Yeah.
No.
But since they had already used up all their 12, they had to keep you.
Yeah, because it was getting down to like bare bones. It was less, marrow than was on the bone in your macaroni. It's just buh. So that was annoying. Now, do I mind doing my civic duty? No. But do I mind that I'm the only one? Not the only one. Obviously, there's
12 others.
Well, 11 others plus alternates. I'm an alternate, so, But
that makes it worse because you have to listen to the whole freaking thing and then you can't even vote.
Yeah, unless someone drops out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's, it's just weird. But yeah, it is annoying that all these people just trying to get out of their civic duty. That's what's annoying.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like answering questions honestly, and it's just like, well, okay. But I guess that's where we are. But, our judicial system has seen better times, let's just say. From the top to the bottom.
Yeah.
It's seen better days. All right. Well, we have a giveaway winner, Crystal's Corner, who won our Thunderous giveaway.
Yes.
So congratulations. I think that's a new winner.
Yes.
Yeah, because I don't recognize that name. But congratulations. I believe it's a she. Mm-hmm. Okay. And yeah, that's good. That was our Thor. Everything Thor.
Yes. Everything
Thor. But it's a new month. So we are starting a new giveaway today. I already posted a story, just kind of a teaser. Mm-hmm. Tracy, as usual, will post all the ins and outs of how to do it. But we'll just tell you guys how to do it. And you guys are the most important anyway because you're listening. So all you have to do to win in our new August giveaway is a Danielle Nicole, but, her Danny brand, Minnie Mouse backpack and crossbody. So just like we did the silver one, this is another version. This is kind of pinkish and white and pink. Yeah, it's very hard to describe, but it does have Minnie on the front of each. And we already put up a Instagram story of it, and you can see that right now. And all you have to do is answer this question, which I think is a great question. It's probably our best question we've ever asked. What is a good Disney giveaway question? Because believe it or not, that's one of the hardest parts of doing the giveaways, coming up with good questions.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is give us a good question that we would ask in future giveaways. And you could direct message us that question to Instagram, Facebook, or both if you want 2 entries. If you want 3 entries, you can send it to us via email, info@ropedroppingknowledge.com. And I don't know if I'm going to do a blog yet, so we'll just leave it at that for right now. Probably do a blog. If you find a blog and you do it, that'll be 4 entries. And it has to be a blog post of the giveaway. Yeah, that's the question. What's a good Disney giveaway question? And this particular giveaway ends on August 27th, last Saturday of this month. Must be 18 years or older, live in the United States. All winners of any of our giveaways are drawn at random. So that would be on the 28th of this month. All right. We also are going back to the parks, which means we still have the wallet to give away. So the first people who come up to us, first person, I should say, and because there's only one wallet at a time, but first person who finds us, mentions the wallet, wins a Minnie Mouse Kate Spade wallet. It's really that simple. You just got to come and find us. Very easy. If your friends are going to the park, you're not, let them know. Relatives going to the park, you're not, let them know. Mm-hmm. Just want to meet new people. We're lonely. And, we'll be posting stories throughout the day, kind of like where we are here and there throughout the day. But you know what? For people who just go to the parks like once in a while, I know they seem huge. They really aren't that big.
What's not that big?
Disneyland's not that big. I mean, compared to like Disney World, it's not that big.
No.
Yeah, I mean, we walk back and forth between the parks, all over the parks, multiple times a day. So, especially when we post, like when we're eating lunch or dinner or whatever, we're very easy to find. Especially if you're in the same park.
Yeah.
All right. Should we talk about earthquake weather?
No.
No? Okay.
It's not earthquake weather. It's
Tracy believes in earthquake weather. There's weather that affects earthquakes.
No, there's weather that usually earthquakes follow. But that hasn't been it because it's been humid. It's humid.
Yeah. What are we looking forward to when we go back to the parks this Saturday?
I don't know.
No reservations.
Forward to being there.
Yeah, so we're no longer blocked on Saturdays. We're blocked all July. I just kind of want to get on some rides. I kind of missed the rides. Didn't do Matterhorn last time.
Well, this is our only chance because it's closing August 15th.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's closing. Monsters Inc. is closing.
But they'll reopen by Labor Day weekend.
When is Splash Mountain closing for the retheme?
Oh, they didn't say.
Because that's going to be closed for like a year or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we always like Thunder Mountain. That's an easy ride to get on. Is it still Hyperspace Mountain, or did they switch it back to space already?
They switched it back.
Okay. Yeah, Space Mountain's always good.
Yeah, I think we'll do more like a ride day.
Might be a ride day. I think
we'll show up early, do stuff. I know it's going to be hot, so we'll do that.
Yeah, it's going to be 90 degrees.
Usual where we go back and take a nap.
It's not our usual anymore, but it'll be.
It used to be. We haven't
usual.
done that in a while because we've been just rolling in at 11 p.m. I mean a.m. Not
I got
PM.
a new jersey. Well, not a Disney jersey, but one that I made, a football jersey that looks kind of like Raiders colors. I know, it's Raiders colors.
You should wear that to
Sith
Vegas.
Lord. I know, huh?
Raider Nation.
Yeah. So I'll be wearing that. Yeah. But if you're at the parks, come find us. Not only to win the wallet, but just to say hi. We'll give you some swag, some stickers, some magnets. Who knows? We might even have something else. You never know. You never know with us. But yeah, it's going to be fun to be back there. Still, I've always wanted to do like a meet and greet, but it's just so hard with the reservation system. Mm-hmm. So, don't know about that. All right. What's our first headline?
Oh.
What you're just zoning out today.
I'm like sleepy. Okay. Disneyland Resort announces the return of the holiday season, which will be November 11th through January 8th. And also the Festival of Holidays Food Fest will be back at TCA. So, with all these announcements, all the Magic Key holders are angry because it's like, okay, what about the Magic Key renewals? It's expiring. It's going to expire before the holidays. So what? Like all these things Disney's announcing, and then I just posted something where the Disneyland Magic Key Instagram was like, oh, Magic key holders get 15% off at all dining, at dining establishments in downtown Disney, and look at this Poke Bowl, and you can get this at Ballast Point for 15% off, and all this stuff. And I was like, and you're like, oh, maybe it's a going away party for us.
So just so everyone knows, this is our big topic of this podcast is going to be about magic keys. So you're just going to hear it throughout. Yeah, the people are, they're upset.
And they can't
but it
ask
is what
anyone. Cast members don't know, and they don't want to bother the poor cast members are being inundated with questions. The guest service chat, and they don't know. They're just copying and pasting what they're supposed to say. So it's and people think, oh, maybe the more we bother them, the more put pressure on Disney. But it's not. The cast members are just going to do what they're told, say what they're told. Yeah. They don't have any knowledge, nobody knows. So no one knows what's happening. The other thing was there's no more Magic Key embroidery. That Magic Key embroidery you got on your jersey.
Yep.
They did away with that. The only thing that they would do now are hats, but I'm not sure if it's that traditional Mickey hat or all hats. It just says hats. So,
right.
So there's another clue or whatever. And then also the Magic Key lawsuit, right? So if the theory is that we're waiting to see what the lawsuit, the result of the lawsuit, we'll be waiting forever because the class isn't even certified yet. You have to first certify as a class. And that hearing on whether it's an actual class is not until January 23. And then assuming a judge decides that it is a class, then court begins in June of next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's
and
not
this whole
what
thing
they're
and the whole trial and everything itself could last years.
Yeah.
So it's not even that's not even a thing. So I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're waiting for, but
that can't be. It's that'll be years. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to go to trial. It's probably going to settle, but still, that's a long process.
So let's just get into our main thing, and we'll come back to the other stuff. But the question of the day is, what if Magic Keys just go away?
In an alternate universe, I'm just kidding. In this universe.
This universe, in an alternate universe. It could be this month. I mean, because you got to figure Magic Keys became a thing a year ago on the 25th of this month, August.
Yes.
So we're already in August.
Yes.
So we're looking at, I think, what is it, August 5th almost?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's August 4th today.
Yeah. So by the time most people hear this podcast, it'll be 20 days for the first renewals.
20 days.
So, and there's nothing. It's silent. So I'm thinking they might not do anything. They might just let them run out, and I think at the minimum, that's probably, what are they going to do? So what does that mean? What does that look like? How do you feel about that? If there were no Magic Keys?
It's not like there's anything I can do.
No, I mean, but
Disney's a corporation, not a democracy. I can't force them to do anything.
so Tracy agrees.
No, I don't agree, but there's nothing I can do.
I said, how do you feel? I didn't say, what are you going to do?
I'll be upset, but it's fine, I guess. There's nothing I can do about it, so I can't feel anything. I'll be like, oh, that sucks, want, want. But like we did I guess I'll still go to Disneyland 4 times a year with a 2-day pass.
Wouldn't it be, so it would be 8 times.
Yeah, but one would be Disneyland and one day would be DCA.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be park hopping. So, yeah, it'll be 4 trips.
And the reason you're bringing that up is because I think we already did the math.
Yes.
And if we bought 4 of the 2-day passes, that equals a Believe Key as far as price.
Yes, because it's $250 each for 2 days.
Times 4 is $1,000.
Yes,
so,
which is basically a belief key. So we know
that is a belief key.
So I understand why it won't be profitable for Disney to offer Magic Keys or annual passes.
Because we were sitting down and we were thinking, okay, what would we do if the Magic Keys went away? And then we were just doing the math, and it's like, it kind of, and it when you actually do the numbers, it makes sense why they would get rid of it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we're still Disney fans.
It's a steal.
We are still going to go 4 times a year.
Yeah.
As far as what we spend, we'll just spend it in that not 4 times a year, but 8 visits.
Yeah, 8 visits.
8 visits with 4 2-day passes. That would equal a belief key. Now, we might end up buying more than that, but let's just say we want to make it equal as far as cost.
Right.
So, that's 4 2-day passes, unless they, sometimes they have that deal with a 3-day.
Yeah.
We might do that.
Yeah.
But, okay, so we do that, and it's basically, we would get all our shopping in those 8 visits.
Yes.
And with 8 visits, that's still...
I'm sure Shop Disney will have a few free shipping days, like they've been doing a lot lately, to get merch sold. If there's no APs anymore or Magic Key holders. So, I mean...
Because right now, we're going to be about 30-something visits since we got the Magic Key. And most of those visits, I mean, we always spent some money, right, at the parks. But there's times where we spent like $20. Mm-hmm. I mean, like 2 hot link corn dogs, and that was about it. You know what I mean? It wasn't. I mean,
I just think when we went last summer before Magic Keys, we were there all day, and we had at least 2 meals a day in the park. Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So it'll be like that.
Yeah. So I guess I can see why they probably just came and did the numbers, and it's like, you know what? Magic Keys really aren't benefiting us.
Right, because especially under Chapek, if he's known as the bean counter, and they're counting their beans, and that's before it was more like a feelings, magical. Yeah, it's magical to go whenever you want. But now it's more like, it's not profitable. Maybe magical, but it's not profitable.
Especially when they're having staffing shortages and then there's supply chain shortages. It's like the only thing we're going to do is get the stuff, because everybody who's a Magic Key holder knows all the influencers. They know all the secrets. So if they want to come up with like a special edition something, we're going to get it. Yeah. Even though we're not really adding to their bottom line. Right. We'll get that one, jersey they only made like 2,000 of. Mm-hmm. People like us will get it if we really want it. Right. The popcorn bucket that's limited, we'll get that. Yeah. But then that's all we'll get that day, and then we'll just leave. Not us. We would have not us particularly, but there's people who do that. Because I remember we would go to the parks, like when we rope drop, and there'd be people already be coming out with bags. Yeah. And they're probably used to be pass holders, and they just go and do their shopping and bounce. And they didn't really, and their shopping, they would do like, and those were probably people who were reselling stuff on eBay. Yeah. So it's kind of like, I could see, and then when we're there and we do go on rides, we're not spending any money, but we're still taking up the spot, making people who are spending money stand in line longer, making them angry. You know what I mean? Because the lines are so long.
But we do spend money. A lot of the Magic Key holders, like us, spend money there, though. We're not the people who just spend $100 a thing. Home.
I think most, we've talked about this ad nauseum, but the average person who is a tourist, who's not a pass holder, key holder, they're going to spend a lot more when they go. Right. And if you can get more of those people into the park saying, hey, the lines aren't so bad because we got rid of the Magic Key holders and da-da-da-da-da. And the Magic Key holders who decided to buy regular tickets, they're spending more per visit and they're here less. Right.
That's
I don't know if that's a bad... I mean, if somebody was asking me from just a business standpoint, not a bad idea.
That's what I'm saying. It's not profitable. It's just more magical for us.
If you're asking me as a park guest, I'm mad. I'm a Magic Key holder. You're asking me as a shareholder,
Yeah, but you're looking at the numbers, and that's what it is. And I guess now that their culture is more profit than magic?
Now, that's one type, right? We're looking at it as a guest, as a magic key holder. It's disappointing.
Yes.
I'm also a shareholder. So I'm going through everything I am, right, to Disney. I am a magic key holder and former what they would call legacy pass holder. It would be disappointing if they got rid of the any pass program altogether, magic key or otherwise.
Yeah.
If you ask me as a shareholder, kind of for it. Kind of for it.
That's what I'm saying. If you're like a company, that's the obvious answer is, how is this profitable? Because like we said, if we only bought a 2-day ticket 4 times a year, that's already $1,000.
And now I'm also a third thing. I'm a content creator for Disney. And a lot of people would think, and this is kind of like the debate we got into yesterday, I believe. And you were just saying, and I'm saying, I think it's good for content creators. Not for every content creator. Not for like newbies who are testing out the water type of content creators. But this is our 161st episode. So even though we're not big, I could say that we're established in the sense that we've dedicated ourselves to doing this long term, right? So for a content creator that's not huge, but and the reason we're not huge is because there's literally probably 10,000 Disney podcasts. Yeah. And I'm not mad at that. We didn't do this to like make compete money and compete. We just wanted to form our own community, have our own, friend. We don't care if people, we have friends that are doing their own Disney podcasts. We follow other Disney podcasts. We're not trying to like, compete with anybody. We know that we have listeners that listen to other Disney podcasts, and we don't get mad at that. We're not like, oh, you're cheating on us, it's fine, it's all happy. But I will say this: I do as somebody who is a content creator, it makes our content more valuable because the people who are just kind of, going there and they're not really dedicated to being content creators, they just want to see. It's going to loosen up that space. If you're not really into it, if your heart's not really into it, and you're just kind of like, oh, I'm just doing it because, we go to the parks anyway. Yeah. Well, those people are going to fall off. Yeah. Because the one thing that you have to do to have a successful, whether it's a YouTube channel or a podcast or anything, is you have to be consistent. That's why I never really try to, I always try to avoid skipping an episode. I don't think we have. I might do it late. Like we might say, like we typically record on Thursdays. We say we officially put it out on Fridays, even though it'll be up Thursday night. Sometimes we'll do it on Friday and then we'll go up till Friday night. Sometimes we'll push it to Saturday, even Sunday. Sometimes we do it a little early on a Wednesday. But we try to have at least one episode every single week. And I think we've done that. And if there's somebody who can't do that, and it didn't matter if we went to the parks or not, right? Because some people are just putting up content because they happen to, maybe they live in Orange County and they just go to the parks, once a week. But if they can't do it once a week, they're just like, I don't know. My heart's not really in it. Right? The pandemic hit. That's when we got most of our listeners because nobody was going to the park. Yeah. We still came out with an episode a week and we started doing giveaways. Yeah. Like every month. We were already doing giveaways, but that's when we dedicated to doing it every single month was when we were not going to the parks. Yeah. So I think it's never going to affect the podcast and all the people who are kind of like fair weather content creators, they're going to disappear. And the only people who are going to be left are people who really have their heart and soul into giving the public free Disney content. Yeah. And that actually makes our stuff more valuable. And so out of the 3 things I am to Disney, 2 of them are kind of not mad at getting rid of the magic keys. The only one is kind of upset and disappointed is the guest in me. Yeah. You know? So, and I'm not saying that means that that's the right decision to do. I hope they don't do it. Yeah. Because the guest in me is still bigger than the other
to go, every other week or something.
And, I'm not such a big shareholder that, Disney's not, it's not like I own $100,000 in Disney stock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's, I think that we would be okay. I think we would be fine.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't like to hear that, right? Now,
of course, it's like what you were talking about in the last few episodes a while ago, where they're putting their money in the tourism and stuff, and not in their loyal fans, right?
Yeah.
And in the long run, that might hurt them.
So that's the fourth thing I am. And that's just a fan of Disney. And and there's a difference between being a fan and being a guest.
Yeah.
Being a guest, somebody actually shows up at the parks.
Yeah.
Most Disney fans hardly ever go to the parks. I mean, people who live in the Midwest, who are just like working class people, they're Disney fans. I know a lot of people who I work with, who are around the country, who are Disney fans, and they consider themselves hardcore fans because they have to go to Disney at least once a year.
Yeah.
To most people would be considered like a hardcore fan.
Yeah.
To us, that's like, what? Once a year? Like, we have withdrawals if we don't go once a month.
Disney has hardcore fans who are local too.
Right.
So, or at least like neighboring states.
But I think being a fan, though, means you want, like, if you had your way, everyone could experience Disney. And you want to take care of other Disney fans. You want to make sure they're getting their needs met. Regardless if they agree with you on all things Disney or not, you kind of think of other Disney fans as kind of like an extended family.
Yeah.
I think of cast members as kind of an extended family. And I would hate for somebody who has less means than me, but loves going to the park just as much as me. Some people even more than me. And we have friends who have passes that I don't know if they got rid of passes, they would either be reduced to once a year or maybe once every 2 years, because they're like working class, and they're great families. I want them to have just as much fun as me. And so if you're looking at it as a fan, being a true fan of something means that it's not just about you. It's about the entire brand, and it's about everyone who loves that brand. And yes, I think a lot of other fans would be hurt. And I think that the brand over time would be hurt.
Yeah.
Because, and I've made this point over and over again, but if you invest only in people who have the ability to drop a lot of money once in a while, those people probably aren't going to be your most loyal customers.
Right. Had
Disney is a brand that started for families, and it used to be pretty inexpensive to go to Disney.
Yeah.
There's people who've been had annual passes since annual passes were a thing.
Yeah.
There's people who've been going to Disney since Disney opened.
Right.
There's people that old, right? And their kids are going, and there's multi-generational Disney fans. There's people who are just as much, just when we were talking about the whole comparison with adult Disney fans and football fans, just like there's, multi-generational Dodgers fans. I know that's not a football team, but Raiders fans, Packers fans, any sports team, My granddad, was for the Yankees, The same thing for Disney. And that's something that you cannot replicate with, people who only go when they get a plaid vest walking them around. It's just not.
Yeah.
And and the people who are just going there because their sweetie wants to go and show off and take Instagram pictures because Disney's a thing, but then she'll grow out of it when now that she can go to Greece or whatever,
Right.
do whatever. And again, I don't begrudge people who don't like Disney.
Yeah.
But you're catering to those people. Because there's a lot of people who will not like Disney their entire lives that will drop $5,000 for one Disney trip for their kids, and then their kids don't become Disney fans. And they're like, okay, well, I'll just put money somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right. And that's not sustainable. Well, it's not sustainable to keep what you already have, which is probably one of the most recognizable brands on earth.
Yeah.
If not the most recognizable brand. If you want to just become a chain of amusement parks and hotels that people kind of care about, that's probably what's going to happen.
That's probably what, in the long run.
Yeah. And I'm not saying you can't be profitable doing that.
Right. They're still profitable. Annual passes.
Yeah. You'd be profitable, but long term, you're not going to be looked at as icon. Eventually, you'll end up selling off your IPs because you're going to be like, well, the movies are going here. We used to fund everything through our parks, but if our parks are up and down because we don't have that loyal, the Magic Key annual pass holder thing that we can always rely on.
We do spend money too. When we go there.
We spend money, we just not a lot.
Right.
Like we probably spend more than most Magic Key holders.
Most Magic Keys, but that's the one beef that Magic Key holders have, and for Legacy Pass holders have, is Disney keeps saying that they don't spend money, and they do. They don't bring their own lunch and all that stuff. They do eat there and buy merch. They're the crazy people who stand in line for the popcorn buckets. And the latest merch drop.
But you have to look at it like this. Let's say. And it's not even really about rich and poor. I always use that kind of as an example. But you have to look at it like volume. So you have one person. Think of it as like your house, right? You have a Thanksgiving party. And you have people bringing over, food and different things. And some people, even your relatives, are helping you clean. And it's fun, right? And they only come, but it's only one day. But you're like, okay, this is great. This is awesome. Not only is it a great party, not only is it good energy, but everyone's kind of pitching in, and everyone's bringing stuff, and it's just great. Then you have your one relative who's unemployed, who's staying with you for a month. He might be doing the dishes once a week. He might be doing this, but he's taking up space in your house, and yet you're not. He might be, let's say over that month period, he's contributing as much as somebody who went to your house once for that Thanksgiving. But he's there for a month.
But he's contributing.
No. But think about it. The person who brings a bottle of champagne to your Thanksgiving party, but is only there for that one night, that's appreciated. A person who stays with you for a month and gives you a bottle of champagne.
Yeah, but that's like saying we just go to Disneyland to take up space. Well, that's my point.
No, but that's my point. No, but my point is we spend money. Me and you are not the average people.
No, I'm talking about the people who aren't.
I'm talking about the people who are going there for like happy hours, and they're going there because. Oh, I have a pass. I might as well take.
Yeah, but that's anecdotal. There are a lot of people who are saying, "Hey,
no,
Disney,
it's not anecdotal, or else they wouldn't be
not spending money. We eat 3 meals a day there. Don't say that about us." Is what they're mad about.
They're the minority, or else it wouldn't be even a question, right? You're the one who says you trust business. You think somebody you think somebody would disrespect somebody?
A million of them don't spend money, and we're the only ones. We're not that special. So
I'm not saying we're not the only ones. I'm saying if you look at a percentage of Magic Key holders, what percentage do you think are really spending over $100 per visit? Not many. Not many.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you have to look at, okay, well, what's their value as far as space that they're taking up there? Is that worth the $100 they're spending per visit? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's the number that professionals, all the statisticians and people that Chapek hired, that's what they're looking at. If you're making somebody a lot of money, they will not disrespect you. That's what I'm saying. You know,
but they're the ones who are buying all the merch and buying up all the popcorn buckets and all.
Popcorn
this stuff.
bucket is not even a
No, I'm talking about everything else. All the merch that's dropped, all the jerseys that's sold out. Do you think the once a year tourists are buying those? No.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, they're not, because they don't know anything about that. They know, the hottest thing. They don't know what's the thing that just dropped that's limited edition or whatever. They're just buying whatever their kid lights up and looks good to their kids. But
but also they're the ones who are buying the web slingers things that I made and all the things that we don't buy. You know what I mean?
True.
So, because there's a lot of things that Magic Key holders would be like, why would anyone spend money on that? Dumb tourist. And yet those things are selling too. And those things will probably have a bigger margin. You know what I mean? The things that we buy are just things that identify us as Disney guests. We buy jerseys, we buy hats.
We buy whatever the latest limited edition thing is.
Yeah. But I don't even know if those are their big
ears or whatever.
Yeah. Those, I don't even think those are their biggest, profit, their biggest gains are off of those things. Maybe not.
Or even the latest food item.
And then from an operational standpoint, how many of those things do they have to operationally create just because they have to make money off of Magic Key holders? Mm-hmm. So like if Magic Key holders are buying certain things with keys on them and the AP corner and do that stuff. Well, that costs money to create too. Mm-hmm. So if I didn't have you, I don't have to do that. I could put more, Spider-Man web slinger stuff.
Merch out there.
Yeah. Iron Man helmets and things. Magic Key holder ain't buying no Iron Man helmet.
They're buying the Thor hammer.
No, they did buy it like the popcorn holder. Yeah.
Yeah, the Thor zipper or whatever it's called.
A tourist would buy like a personally engraved Thor hammer that me and you would probably buy on Etsy because we know that's better quality than that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Magic Key holders know what things of Disney are our value and what things aren't.
Basically, they want to be a tourist trap destination.
Right. And tourist trap destinations, most of the stuff you see there are buying junk. They want some more Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
You think Magic Key holders, I mean, again, you could say, well, me and you bought a bunch of Ray-Bans. Most people,
that's different.
Most Magic Key holders ain't.
Yeah.
I talked Kevin into buying Ray-Bans because he got the discount after I bought Ray-Bans.
Yeah.
But the average Magic Key holder ain't going there to buy Ray-Bans. They go there to wherever else they would go to buy Ray-Bans. Mm-hmm. That's not what they're showing up for the park for. Mm-hmm. But somebody who came from Missouri and it's like, oh, wow, there's some Ray-Bans with Mickey on them.
Yeah.
And they can only get them here? Yeah. That's for them. And everybody in Missouri is going to be like, well, you can get those. Well, you can't. Because then they could go back and floss. We've been to Disneyland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If we saw somebody with Mickey Ray-Bans, we'd be like, oh, cool, we have a pair of those. There's no clout attached to that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. It is what it is. But, yeah, if Magic Keys went away, it would probably benefit their bottom line in the short term. In the long term, I think it would destroy your brand.
Yes.
And
what would we do? We would only go 4 times a year.
Yeah, at least that's what we say.
And we would have, I was saying we would have more opportunity to go to other places, like maybe Disney World, visit Disney World, or, go to New York and visit my cousin. Yeah. I guess I can use up my TSA pre-check. I have it, but I haven't used it yet because I don't go anywhere. So if they don't offer Magic Key, maybe it's a good thing for me. Like I could expand my travels.
Yeah. There you
Besides just going to Orange County all the time.
And I think that's the first step in destroying a brand, right? Because if you say, well, if I just make my diehards a little less, then we don't have kids. But for people like us who do, their kids would be a little less likely.
Yeah.
If most of the people I talk to aren't super Disney fans, but they've all been to Disney like once when they were kids, twice when they were kids. I used to go, Were your parents really into it? No, I just, it was my birthday and they took me 1 year and it was cool,
Yeah.
I heard about that Star Wars thing. Maybe I'll see that someday. That's when I talk to people who aren't Disney fans, that's how we talk.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's really cool. Rise of Resistance is cool. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll get around to going.
Yeah.
That's how the conversation is.
We have friends who are Star Wars nerds and they haven't been to Disney. Scott and Jera, who they have a little girl, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we gotta go to Disney with you guys someday."
Yeah.
You know, like it's like there's Star Wars fans,
but so far, Chapek's gotten 0 of their dollars. You know, and the only reason they would actually go is probably if they went with us.
Yeah.
And if we're not going anymore, or going a lot less, you know, so there you have it. Good for your bottom line in the short term, destroys your brand in the long term.
Yep.
But I totally get why they may not bring back Magic Keys, and I'm actually predicting.
I guess we don't know either way.
We don't know either way. We don't know either way.
We don't know what's going on.
You know, there's a lot of big decisions that have happened this year that people didn't think would happen.
What?
Yeah, just politically and stuff. I mean, there's just stuff
in the real world.
No, so I mean, there's always stuff that people will say. Like when we watch Fresh Break, he was always say they'll always have an annual pass program.
Yeah, I can't imagine that happening. And now he's like, well, if that does happen, I guess we'll still have content, but maybe less frequent cadence than we do now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, he's starting to plan for the what if.
Yeah. And nothing is forever.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, that's probably the lesson of this. So I honestly, before the pandemic, I would be like, they're never getting an annual pass program. Then they did during the pandemic. And then it's like, well, they're definitely bringing something back. They did. But now I know it can go away. I've already felt it go away. Yeah. Once. So now I know it can. Chapek knows it can. They only have a year's worth of pass holders anyway. Key holders. So I think it's 50-50 that they don't bring it back.
Yeah. I mean, there's theories that they're going to just not renew anyone and not bring it back and go maybe a few months, like 6 months to a year, to see what the numbers look like when it's a solely multi-day ticket holder, single-day ticket holder park only, and see the numbers. And then maybe, you know, if maybe the first year might not even be a good count, because that's when like people like us will Still go frequently.
We haven't found other activities.
Yeah. But then after a year, that's when it's the real numbers, right? It's like, okay, we're over it. Or, you know, the content creators are just like, whatever now, you know, like maybe we'll go once a year in Christmas with our family from out of town. So that's the real numbers. So we don't know. They might just look at those numbers and be like, okay, it's time to bring something back now because we're not having that many guests. Because their problem was crowds, right? So this is a way to thin out the herd, kind of. Like you said, the APs and Magic Key holders are taking up space. So in a year, and they can see an empty park, they're like, all right, maybe we do need to, maybe now it's too empty, you know? I don't know.
And it's also that effect of sobering up, what I call it, right? So if you are used to, I don't know. So like when I used to go to clubs, you know, I used to go to clubs in my teens, but I was a bad kid. I was adventurous. and then, you know, you continue to go in your early 20s and stuff. And then, and then I just didn't go for a while. And I was like, oh, life's fine. I don't need, because when you were like into the club scene and going to the clubs, it's maybe not so much this generation today, but back in the 90s, it was kind of like, that was your Disneyland. That was a place to go every weekend. It was just like, whoa, you know, what are we going to do? Oh, this is Do Club. So, well, who's going to be there? And who's going to do it? And then your whole mindset is kind of like, it's almost like, I don't want to call it an addiction, but it becomes habitual.
It becomes, habitual,
but when you stop going, you're like, oh.
And that's a different habit.
But the thing is, it's not even that it becomes you not even have to replace it. It's just that, like, you start working, you start going, it's like, now, if you ask me if I want to go to a club, I'll be like, what? It's like when you stop doing it, you kind of like, oh, I didn't really need that in the first place.
You develop a new routine.
So for anything that is entertainment based, or, you know, I could just say fun based, but let's just say entertainment based, that's not a necessity. Do you really want people to realize they don't need you? That you're not a necessity.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know what I mean?
That's the one thing they should be afraid of.
That's the huge the huge thing.
Is that people will now be like, oh, well, I guess we didn't really need it anymore. I guess we won't. We'll just go once a year.
And people would say, well, no, people really came back in droves after the pandemic because because they weren't doing anything.
Yeah.
People were stuck in their houses.
There were people who've never been to Disneyland that went when it first reopened.
And people, when you don't do anything and you have the opportunity to go to the biggest theme park on earth, or branded from a brand standpoint anyway, it's like, you're gonna have huge numbers, because you have the old people coming back who couldn't wait, and they knew you didn't shut down because you had to, you shut down because you were forced to,
right?
You're gonna have huge numbers, but you start kind of slowly phasing people out you give people a chance to like experience your competition, which is really like you said, the rest of Earth. And it's kind of like there's going to be a certain percentage that's going to be like, do you want to go to Disney? I haven't been in about a year, but I
don't know. I'll think about it. It's too hot,
How much are tickets now? It's like, and there's also something that comes with that too. And this is totally a bad human trait. So I'm not even saying that this is a good thing, but it works against Disney in this scenario. When I was part of an MMA company, and we used to always never stand in line for clubs. We would always sometimes we would even be the main feature at a club. We would have our VIP tables because we just put on a fight and the club would partner with us. And then I remember one time we had an event in Yuma, and nobody in Yuma knows us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had a couple fighters from Yuma, but that was it. And we went to one of their local clubs, and they made us stand in line. and we were just like, what? Because we were so entitled. Like, we're from San Diego. Like, you're Yuma. You should be like happy we're in your town. Your home values just went up because I stepped foot here. I mean, it was such a snobby, disgusting, elitist attitude. I admit it. I'm not gonna say it. It's not a good human characteristic. But if people who are used to quote unquote VIP treatment, that now you have to say, now you're like everyone else. It's kind of like, do you think we stood in line for the club? No. We our pride wouldn't let us. Yeah. and I'm not saying that that's a good thing to have, but it's part of human nature. I was younger. It is part of human nature. And there's a lot of people who are used to being the go-to Disney people. We are the go-to Disney people with our friends and family. Like, every time somebody goes to Disney, they're sending us stuff. What about this? Oh, you guys are like us now. And we're like, no, we're not like you. Well, you guys
have to buy a single day ticket like us.
No. Honestly, that is a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of it is. I'm sure some psychologist has a name for it.
Commoner?
The commoners.
But commoners now.
If you are used to something and it is taken away from you, there's a good chance that you will avoid that thing. And it could be pride. I don't know what it is, but
look at us with our Bonvoy, right? We went to one hotel. I think it was in Vegas. That was the Aria. That was not Bonvoy, and we're like, screw this. Like, we're not gonna come back. What? We have to check out at 11 like everyone else? Like, we don't get breakfast? Like, stuff like that, right? It's like that.
Yeah. And when you look at it,
and Aria's a nice hotel. It's just
a
that
super nice hotel.
We're not part of that elite,
we're not part of their club.
Yeah.
And if we're not part of your club, well then no, we want to be part of our club. You know what I mean? Our club's better, And that's a human thing, man. And I'm not saying I don't know why that's in our DNA, because I'm sure everybody's felt like that.
Like, I haven't even used my TSA pre-check yet. I've never used it, but I can tell I don't want to stand in the regular TSA line.
Yeah. And here's the thing. If they took away TSA pre-check, I've only used TSA pre-check once. I'll be mad. We're like, what?
Yeah, I haven't.
How dare you?
I didn't even experience it yet, and I'd be mad. I'm like, what?
Oh, it's super quick. I just walk right through, and And then the first time when I was going to Jersey, because that's the first time I had it, I had to take off my belt you know? And I was
Yeah.
like, so I came back in sweats. that's how I didn't even want to take off my belt. I just walked through, and I'm just like, and everyone else is waiting in line. I'm like, later, suckers, you know? And it's not even an elitist thing. It's $80 for 5 years. I mean, you break that out. It's not, I don't know why everyone doesn't have it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's true,
But it's
though.
a real thing.
That's a good point. It'll make people who are like, wait, I'm not special anymore, so I don't want to go anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right?
And you know, the irony of it is, Magic key holders are actually cheaper.
Yeah.
We're not the elite. We're the ones who are trying to get the best deal from Disney.
Right.
You know,
But we're just this group,
but we have
part of this club.
But we're
or
part
whatever.
of this society. You know, I identify as a pass holder. You know, and yeah, there's a lot of people who once special accommodations are removed, they will avoid that thing. Mm-hmm. And simply because they do not want to stand in the same lines, they do not want to do that. When we used to have Max Pass and they got rid of Max Pass, I felt a certain way. I was like, wait a minute, my pass, we were Signature Plus holders, and it came with Max Pass. Now you're saying I have to buy a genie? It's like, I mean, I'm old enough now to where it doesn't bother me.
And we do buy a genie.
Yeah.
But even if we go on 2 rides, we buy a genie because we don't want to stand in that long ass normal line, commoner line. You know, so it's like even that is something that's cliquish. Like,
I like
we're
how
not going on rides today. Okay, let's just buy Genie Plus anyways. You know, like that.
Yeah, we'll buy Genie Plus and go on 2 rides.
Yeah.
Just because,
Only because we don't want to be where the crowd is, where the masses are.
I don't like it when you use the word commoner, but I'm with you.
It's offensive, but, you know.
You're from a different country, it doesn't matter. You get a pass. But it's like, but I do get, it is a point, and it's true. Because, and it's not even it's just a cost thing. It's like, well, I could be at Sonoma Terrace drinking a beer or standing in line.
Yeah.
Like, I could be sitting down, relaxing, listening to, you know, was it
the song at Sonoma Terrace?
I forget the word.
Yeah.
like Santa, it's one of those things, Santa Monica or something. Yeah, it's a thing, man. We've ranted about this for probably over 40 minutes.
Well, let me tell you what's okay. So other headlines. Real quick, there's another incident at Disney World. I mean, these are going to be like maybe every week now.
You know what? Let's just go to Taste Talk.
Oh.
Because we're at an hour.
But I wanted to talk about the
But we still got dot
okay.
points.
Should we talk about those at dot points?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Okay.
because we're just going to talk all the way through the rest of the podcast.
Okay.
So unless we want to skip Taste Talk today.
No.
Okay. I know you would say no. You love your food and your food pictures. She was arguing with a chef about taking pictures of her food.
Dude, okay, no, that's whatever. We're already over.
It's Taste Talk with Tracy. Mash some magic in your mouth.
So in Taste Talk, we had, we're talking about just the cocktails we had at the Magic Key Terrace. Good thing we got to be exclusive one last time. The Nutmeg, which is named after their resident cat. There's a cat there. Her name's Nutmeg, and
Tom told us
there.
that drink was coming.
Yeah. So it's a secret menu drink called the Nutmeg. And it has like, let's see what's in there. The Nutmeg has Myers Dark Rum, Bailey's Irish Cream, Frangelica Hazelnut Liqueur, and Apricot Liqueur. The second thing on the secret menu was the Avalon Cooler, but I don't know what's in there. You had that.
I forgot what's in there.
It tastes like a wine cooler, right?
No, it's stronger than a wine cooler.
But stronger, yeah. But it's fruity and refreshing.
It's very refreshing. It's a top-notch drink,
yeah,
definitely.
It's really good, but we forgot what was in it.
I know.
But those are the 2 things we had. It was really good.
Both of them were good.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to see the actual cat at the time.
Yeah, sometimes
but it was really hot,
there.
though.
Sometimes.
Probably hiding under some shade somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it when she goes down on the steps.
Yes. Well, sometimes the cast members brings food and tries to call it over so it can come out so that people can see it.
I think the cat's a little older.
Yeah.
Yeah, moving kind of slow.
She's slow and lazy.
I wonder if it ever gets in a fight with a duck.
I don't think the ducks go all the way up there.
I'd pay to see that.
Yeah, I think those 2 drinks were very tasty.
Yeah, so we're definitely, if you get a chance to go, definitely try those 2 things out.
Yep.
All right.
So the Disney World incidents. So a teenage girl was violently shaken by a woman in mouse ears, leopard print skirt, and jean shorts over like nighttime show viewing space. So this woman, like, there's been a lot of fights and stuff, and then like now there's like a woman like shaking a girl. She's like 17. So
the girl who got shook.
Yeah, the girl who got shook, and they couldn't find the lady, and like the Disney security came and tried to look for her. And
that's a pass holder. It's a Florida pass holder.
Well, what happened
disappears into the crowd.
Yeah, what happened was that girl and her family were standing somewhere to watch the show. I don't think it was fireworks. It was some other nighttime show. And they were asked to move because that's a space that they can't stand at. So when they moved somewhere that obstructed that lady's view, I guess, and that lady asked them to move. And they were moving slowly, I guess too slow, or I don't know. And then she just took the girl and shook her. Anyways.
I don't know why they couldn't find her.
Why?
I don't know.
What are you?
She's a secret agent.
Jesus Christ.
What is it?
That's Jason Bourne.
I don't get it.
Yeah, she slipped away in the crowd. No one could find her.
Oh, that's funny. Anyways, so that got me thinking of all these. There's been a few incidents at Knott's Berry Farm lately. Fighting, cops showing up all the time. So what Knott's has decided to do was have a chaperone policy. On the weekends, if you're 17 and under, you must be accompanied by an adult who's 21 and over.
Tracy's paradise.
Dude, I saw this guy make a video, and he was holding a beer, walking around Knott's, and he's like, this is heaven. No teenagers around. Because Knott's is like teenagers. Like Knott's is sort of like a grad night every day or every weekend.
Yeah.
Every day in the summer.
And Tracy hates grad night.
So this guy was like, look at this. No teenagers. Look at all these adults. Look at all these moms with their little strollers with their little kids. No teenagers around. Yeah, that sounds like a paradise. But no, it's not Disney. But anyways.
And if Disney cuts out the magic keys, they have chaperones, no teenagers at Knott's. Perfect storm, anybody?
I know.
Perfect storm for Tracy, anyway.
But now they've added, so before it was Friday and Saturday, they've added recently Sunday to the chaperone policy. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no one under 17, or everyone under 17 under has to have an adult with them.
Yeah, I don't know how long that's going to last when we get into the October stuff, because they make tons of money off teenagers for the Halloween nights.
Oh.
So I think it's a lot of bluster, and I think they're going to suspend that policy come October. Maybe even late September.
Because teenagers come, but they have to bring an adult with them.
I don't think they'll go. I think
they just have to look for
I think teenagers want the reason teenagers liked not so much is because one is cheap. Compared to Disney anyway. It's cheap and they get to wild out. Like that was the whole thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, you could just go there. It was like, back in the day with me hanging out at like Roberto's or something, or parking lot to this when I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
They used to get an amusement park. They can do the same stuff. Right. And that's why there was probably fights, because any beef that happened at high school, it would carry over there.
Yep.
So any gang stuff probably carried over. So yeah, that was a big attraction. Being unsupervised at a place of business is a big attraction for kids.
Especially Halloween night.
Yeah. So I like to. We'll see if they're gonna walk the actual walk
when it comes to October stuff.
Yeah. How much money you gonna give up?
Haunt.
Because when we went to those Halloween things, and this was what 2013.
Yeah,
14?
Halloween thing is a big thing.
Yeah, it was filled with teenagers.
Yeah.
And I mean, they made millions of bucks just on teenagers. So, because there's a lot of adults who don't want to be walking down like a smoke machine filled alley and can't see where they're walking. Old people aren't going to go to that thing.
No,
it's just it's a hazard. I can't believe OSHA even allows that place to exist. it's dark and people jumping out scaring you and stuff. So the only people who really want to go there are teenagers.
Yeah.
Teenagers and curious weirdos like us.
Well, we went once and then we're like, okay.
Well, I didn't get to go to the one thing I could go to because there's so many teenagers that just got there first and took it off. It was the Walking Dead thing.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, we'll see how tough.
Yeah, we'll see how they are.
Yeah.
But I thought that was funny. Okay, so Thursday is now the new Wednesday for us for She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Its premiere delayed by a day, August 18th, Thursday instead of Wednesday.
Cool people just pronounce her Shulk.
Shulk. So, and you said that was because Wednesdays are now Andor.
Yep.
Thursday's She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Friday is Lord of the Rings, which is not Disney Plus.
Well, I was just giving an example of basically there's going to be about a month period, probably around 4 weeks, where you're going to have a Wednesday is Andor. You're going to have... Ooh, I'm on the wrong thing. You're going to have Wednesday Andor. Then you're going to have She-Hulk on Thursday. You're going to have Lord of the Rings, which that's Amazon, but that's going to be Friday. And then Sunday is going to be Game of Thrones. And that's going to be every week. So those of you who are not nerds...
House of Dragons,
Game of Thrones, whatever. Those of you who are not nerds, who are married to nerds, just like you were saying that some people are going to have to get their cardio in for all the new to make sure they stay alive for all the new Marvel stuff. Yeah, you guys are going to be lonely. You guys are going to be lonely because your partners are going to have 4 nights of nerddom every week.
Saturday, you get Saturday with your partner.
Unless you have a weirdo like me who also likes the UFC.
Oh,
I'm like a nerd bro.
Or Disney. True. And
I'm a bird.
Bird?
Bird.
Oh, yeah. Instead of a nerd. So Monster After Dark is returning September 2nd. One of our cast members' friends let me know.
Yeah.
And that's the Guardians of the Galaxy ride that turns into Monster After Dark.
Which we never go on.
Right.
Well, maybe.
No.
So we go to Sonoma Terrace first, I might go on it.
That's even worse. That'll make you throw up.
Yeah, but I'll be like, I'll be brave.
And then speaking of non-profitable, so there was a long time ago, Disney was going to build a Disneyland in Dubai. Mm-hmm. And they decided it was probably not going to be profitable. So they scrapped the project. So they said,
Dubai.
And so the concept art recently leaked for it, and it was pretty cool to see what was planned for Dubai. There was a giant castle, Galaxy's Edge, Tomorrowland, Cars Land, all that. So it was interesting. Yeah, that I didn't even think that would be even a concept art for it because it's obvious it's not going to be. I mean, a casino is profitable in Dubai, not Disneyland.
I think if
I'm surprised they even made it to concept art.
Dubai is the perfect example of what Chapek wants Disney, though. Just a place where people go to spend money for clout. That's
yeah, but they would go to some exclusive.
Well, if you have kids,
country club,
and it was the most expensive Disney place on the world that only had certain things you couldn't get at other Disney parks. If they had, then there would be people who would go there to take their pictures and maybe not go back. Mm-hmm. But that's the new Disney model is to let's just see how we know we have. The world has 2,000 billionaires. We know we have, something like 100 million millionaires. And let's just get those people. And when we run out of them, then we're worried about everyone else.
I think Chapek's more wanting to turn Disneyland into a carnival, like you said. So it was up to him. He'd build one in Wisconsin and one in Nebraska. Not that those states are not anything bad or anything. I'm just saying he wants them he wants it like a carnival.
He doesn't want
easy accessible to a tourist trap.
But I don't think he wants to build more, though.
I'm just saying if he had a choice to build, he wouldn't build it in Dubai. He'd go to
No, I think he would because
trap places.
Because it's the reason every other business does business in Dubai because Dubai gives you money. That's why Saudi Arabia has their own golf tournament now. They want to be looked at as legitimate. So when you do business with the Arab a lot of the oil-rich Arab states, you think you're getting like states like Texas and Florida will give you a subsidy. Nobody wants to go there. That's why they give you subsidies. Nobody wants to go to Dubai, but they got tons of money. So they pay people for legitimacy. And it's for political reasons. It's for a lot of reasons, but they want to be looked at as legitimate. They want to be looked at as world powers. They want to, people want to go to Paris. They don't want to go to the desert. So how do you get people to the desert? Well, you partner with name brands and say, look, if this is going to cost $13 billion, we got $6 billion of it. We'll take $6 billion of it off your hands, and then that's why they have all these things there in Dubai, and that's how a Disney would get built there. And to somebody like Chapek, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
So that's what happens.
Okay. So in other Disney failed news, rumor has it that the Avengers Assemble flight force at Disneyland Paris is reportedly closing for an update after they had negative reactions from guests and Disney executives. So that's the Marvel attraction that replaced the Rock and Roller Coaster in Paris. Apparently it's not doing very well, or I don't know, it says negative reactions from guests and Disney executives. So they're going to close it and make some modifications. So anyways, and then Jamie Lee Curtis is to play Madame Leota in the upcoming Haunted Mansion movie. So we already know Tiffany Haddish will be in it. So now it's Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if everyone saw, probably did, the trailer for Cars on the Road, a series premiering on September 8th on Disney+. So it's Mater and McQueen going on a road trip.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that looks cool. And, of course, Andor premieres September 21st.
Nice.
But it's 3 episodes premiering.
Yeah, because
on September
they pushed
21st.
it back.
Yep.
But it's a long season. I think it's like, I forget how long it is. It's like 12 episodes or something.
Wow.
So, and it's a whole thing. And the trailer looks amazing.
Trying to catch up with Daredevil.
Yeah. Hocus pocus guacamole. Yeah, you're gonna hear me saying that a lot more if there's magic keys go away. But
speaking of Hocus Pocus,
here we go.
That part 2 or sequel is coming out. They're gonna announce something. They're probably gonna drop the trailer at D23.
I know a lot of people were asking, like, why is that a saying of yours? And I'm like, because it's a curse. People don't get it. It's a curse. It's the 2 worst things in the multiverse.
Hey, people are excited about that sequel.
The Hocus Pocus movie.
You know what? I want to see it because I'm curious. Maybe they redeem themselves.
Hocus Pocus Tracy Moley. Well, yeah, whatever.
Well, that's it.
I remove the curse from you. Thank you guys for listening, staying with us tonight.
Staying with us?
Yeah.
We're not Bon Voy.
We could be. Maybe that's our next move.
Buy a hotel.
Yeah. Rope Dropping Knowledge Hotel. We'll be like Getaway Today. So when the magic keys go away, we start selling packages. Rope Dropping packages.
Scalping Disney tickets.
Because wasn't there a survey about like would you pay if you could only go from 6 p.m. on? You remember that?
Yes, that was one of the survey questions.
Yeah.
They actually did release some survey questions that gave Magic Key holders hope about Magic Key. Like, hey, would you pay more if we offered valet parking? Would you pay more for your pass? Would you pay if there was no parking included in your pass? Like, questions like that. And they're like, oh my God, they're asking questions. It's coming. But it's like, no, just calm down. Nothing. There's nothing being announced. Huh?
I already hear Dole Whip float. Valet? Yeah. Pay more for that.
No.
Chicago people.
No, they like walking. Chicago people in the city can walk. They like to walk.
Yeah, that's true.
It's us suburbanites who
That's
are lazy and like, give me valet. Ubering to our hotel.
That's true. Yeah, but if they offer some other benefits, she would definitely, We gotta get together with her. I think she's a secret agent. I don't know.
Yeah, we want to. I hope they do another Disneyland
I'm into
trip.
conspiracy theories now. I was watching some of the Alex Jones trial.
Oh gosh.
I was like, we already have the North Colorado. Now I think everything's a conspiracy. All right. Well, we will see you next week, bringing you our adventures from the parks. Hopefully somebody finds us and gets that Minnie Mouse Kate Spade wallet.
Because after that, you'll only get an opportunity 4 times a year.
That's true. Well, we'll be going. I'll pass this one out until October, so we got till then.
You got like
until October 1st.
4 more times
Yeah.
or something.
Hocus pocus guacamole. I'm Brian.
I'm Tracy.
Stay magical.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe and visit us at www.ropedroppingknowledge.com.